Welcome back to the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre at the University of Loughborough. We've had 4 matches on our final day in week 1. One still to come. Here's a little reminder of what's happened so far. Jack Findle-Hawkins first up against George Houghton was victorious in straight sets to secure 5th place. Another terrific battle involving Alicia Barnett and Freya Christie. They're always close matches. This time it was Christie who finally came through to gain revenge for a recent defeat to her opponent. Anton Matusevic was too strong in the end for Dan Cox, so he took 3rd place in the men's singles. And a few moments ago we saw Emily Appleton complete her fantastic week. 7 wins out of 7 for the week 1 champion. So one match to come. It's either going to be Harris or Paris. Let's hear from Josh Paris first.
Josh, the perfect birthday present, a place in the final.
Yeah. Amazing day. I mean, I really fought hard today. I executed my game plan really well, and obviously, being my birthday, it made it extra special.
What has pleased you the most with how you've been playing this week?
I think definitely my mentality. I think my coach and I really stressed that this week. We knew it was going to be a battle. 7 matches in 7 days, having not played for a while, is a pretty big challenge. So, and the way it's structured, the matches are going to be close. So that's been a big thing for me, and I think that's been I've done it well.
And how has the body held up to this point?
It's been tough. I got to be honest. But we players, we're ready for the battle. This is what we train for. I mean, we all love competing. I love competing. So, I think the last couple of days I've kind of adjusted to it. My body's almost got a bit used to it, which I don't know if that makes sense. But I did today. I felt a little bit better, maybe because of my birthday. But it was good. No, I'm adapting well.
I think it's most definitely it was your birthday. You woke up with a spring in your step. Now, you mentioned not having played for a while. We're still in a very difficult situation globally. Yeah. So how important are tournaments like the UK Pro League? It's not just about 7 matches in 7 days, but you're actually able to earn money at the same time.
Yeah, no, as you say, it's amazing. I think speaking on behalf of all the other players, I think we're super grateful that these tournaments are on. It makes a huge difference for us to be able to compete, to play 7 matches, to get that competitiveness before going over to playing some ATP tournaments, and obviously, it's funding the rest of my year really. So it's been amazing.
1 match to go this week. What is the history between yourself and Billy Harris?
Billy, we're good friends actually. I've known him for years. Travelled a little bit together, so he's a really good guy. I'm not going to like him tomorrow, obviously. But it's going to be a fight again, and I'll be ready for the battle as always. I'll be there.
Extra special birthday celebration should you win.
Yes, 100%.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've got to put that friendship on hold for a couple of hours at least. I hope he didn't celebrate his birthday too much last night, because it is time for Josh, who's from London, to emerge onto the court for one final time this week, and he really has made a fantastic impression. Memorable victory over Jack Findle-Hawkins to make the semi-finals, and then he did make everyone sit up and take notice when he defeated Dan Cox in the last 4. He's an Arsenal fan. He's devoted to his new puppy, Maya, and he is also fluent in French, and he's a very fluent tennis player as well. What about his opponent? Well, Billy Harris is famous for a number of reasons. Last year he played 42 matches in a row in the UK Pro Series. He had 42 full English cooked breakfasts as well before those matches, which obviously seemed to work. He reached his first ITF final in Antalya at Christmas time, and he's played some fantastic tennis this week, culminating in a hard-fought semi-final victory over Anton Matusevic. Yesterday, a little earlier, I had a little chat with him. Billy, I've got to start by asking you, how was your breakfast?
Yeah, it was good. Had a bit of a lie-in this morning. Didn't get my dinner about midnight last night, so had a lie-in and then went for a little walk, loosened off.
You were telling us that you're thinking about having vegan breakfast, but I presume you had something a little more solid with a 7th match in 7 days to come.
Stuck to my routine, had my eggs on toast.
Have you surprised yourself by doing as well as you have this week?
Yeah, I mean, took a loss to Dan Cox second day, So I knew I had to win pretty much all the matches in the box after that. And then yesterday, I knew it'd be a tough one against Anton because I lost to him a couple of months ago in the British Tour. But yeah, I think I played my best match yesterday, so I'm feeling good now.
We know you're very durable, having played 42 days in a row in the Pro Series last year, but after 6 matches in such a short space of time, how are you feeling physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think on these courts it takes a bit more out of the body, so I'm definitely feeling it on the legs and shoulder. But went to see my physio in Loughborough, which is handy, this morning at Sion, so feeling fresh, ready for the final.
And in terms of the final, you lead the head-to-head 2-1. What sort of match should we expect, and what is going to be critical for you if you're to come out on top again?
I think Josh's got a big game. When he's serving well, he's tough to break. So I've just got to make sure I'm serving well and take care of my service games, and I think be more aggressive today. That's what I learnt from yesterday as well.
We wish you all the best.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so we can expect to see plenty of aggression from Billy Harris. 2 big men on court. Barry Cowan back alongside me. What's your hunch as to how this one's going to pan out, Baz?
You've asked me this about 5 times in the last 24 hours.
I'm giving you another opportunity to change your mind.
I'm going to stick with my original opinion, which was Billy Harris. I mean, it is such a tough one to call because I thought both men were spectacular yesterday in different ways. And sometimes you say, well, the finals, the pressure, but I actually think almost yesterday was a bigger pressure match for both. Now, in the final, it's been a great week for them. Their level has got better and better. And Billy Harris, that was his best match he's ever played. That might be a bit of an issue. How many times do we see a player play great tennis, almost their career best match, and then the next day they maybe don't reach that heights? But I've got confidence that Billy will go for it. I'm also very confident that Josh will play a great match. I think this is going to be terrific tennis, I really do.
Well, we know that Billy is a really strong performer as well. The fact that he played 42 matches in a row last year, he's seen his physio this morning, he's going for it big time. And of course, part of this event is stamina. You've got to be a good player, but it's that physical battle as well, which makes this such a fantastic all-round challenge for these players, Barry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Physical, yes, but one of the reasons, there are many reasons why you train hard, is so when you physically, your body maybe is suffering, mentally you've challenged yourself and you've always got a little bit more, and it makes it easier to get up for a final than it would be, let's say for instance they were starting off another week, maybe another match tomorrow in a first round. So I have no doubts they're going to come out all guns blazing. I think the start will be crucial. Which one of these two? Both powerful players, both like to attack in different ways. Josh more of a serve volleyer, Billy likes to play aggressively from the back, but it's who can make those early statements, I think could be really decisive.
And throughout the course of this weekend, we have been treated to one thrilling match after another. So there is no reason not to think that we shall end the way, basically, we feasted ourselves throughout Saturday and Sunday. It's been that sort of a weekend, hasn't it?
And sometimes it follows, doesn't it? That pattern follows right to the end. I think for the neutrals, I'd sign for a match tiebreak. I'm not sure either of these two would particularly want it to go to 8-all or 9-all.
Well, they might just have to put up with that. Barry, I know you're going to head back to the commentary box, and waiting for us there one final time this weekend is Gigi Salmon.
Thank you, Marcus. And for a final time from the commentary box, we welcome you for the final match of week 1 of the UK Pro League. Josh Parris in your picture. His birthday present was getting him through to the final. Turned 25 this week, sitting at world number 973, has been a career high 769. He's had a really good week, just dropped that second match on day 2 against Anton Matusevic, but it did go the distance, and then that cracking win in the semi-final against, at the time, an unbeaten Dan Cox came through in straight sets, and Parrish actually came off court afterwards and said that he'd buy everyone pizza because it was his birthday and he won. But by the time it finished, everyone had left. Billy Harris wouldn't have said yes because he was waiting for his eggs on toast in the morning. 699 is his current ranking. Trains in Nottingham. Just a little bit older than his opponent today, but he does have the edge on the head-to-head. A couple of meetings in the UK Pro Series
last year. They split those. The Paris win going the distance, and then you go back to Futures event in 2018 when Harris came through in 3 sets. Played so well against Anton Matusevic, Billy Harris. It's some of the best tennis he has played. So it set him up nicely going into the final. 18 points for the winner, 15 points for second place, and that check of 3,750. And he'll have the bragging rights on the leaderboard with this being week 1. And there's a week to wait, and week 2 will get underway here once again at the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre at Loughborough University. So for a final time this week, say good afternoon and welcome to the commentary box, Barry Cannon.
Good evening now, isn't it?
Is it good evening?
Yeah.
Time fly just.
Yeah, just.
Did
So-
Marcus put you on the spot?
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Every, you know, and I stuck with my original pick,
Billy Harris.
Billy. What about you?
Which is brave because he asked you near the Paris camp.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Paris.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Josh Brett.
Yeah.
Just
There's sense in both.
there's not a lot in it,
No.
I would say.
And they've played 3 times before. It's
Yeah.
close. They know each other's game very well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to be a close one, and they've had such a good week between them. They both dropped. The match they dropped was on day 2. They've gone from strength to strength. Both picked up really good wins to make it into the final. Both coming in with confidence, and yeah, I think it's going to be an intriguing final. Final match of the week, day 7, and a little bit of time to rest and recover. And Billy Harris can have a break from eggs on toast. Gets back to it once again. Looking forward to this encounter between the two. It'll be Josh Paris rounding up the balls.
First set. Joshua Paris to serve.
Calling him Joshua, asked him yesterday, so he
Ready?
likes Josh.
Play.
Wants to be known as Josh, so we will go with that.
Fifteen love.
I was concerned at the start of this week how his body would react having not played for a while.
30 love.
Body language so important. It's been a good, confident opening service game.
40 love. Game.
Clean way for Paris
Paris.
to start off his campaign in this final. A love hold.
First
Wow.
game.
Clearly not feeling the nerves. Any positive message, not just with the game, but also the body language. Paris. Billy Harris mentioned his sort of slowish start yesterday, so important service game coming up for Billy. The umpire, Jacob Miles. Interesting, he's actually a football referee as well.
Is he?
Yeah, there's a lot of refereeing at the Premier League under 23 level.
Right.
It's,
Does he prefer football or tennis? If he has to choose, tennis players a lot, they have to choose a sport.
well, now that he's here at tennis, he has to say tennis. Maybe when
Billy
he's refereeing
Harris
tomorrow,
to
he
serve.
might say football.
But if you had to pick one, a lot of
But of course,
a
tennis.
lot of tennis players have to pick between a career in football and tennis. If he had to choose one sport.
He was the 4th referee at a championship game the other week. Stoke and Brentford.
Billy Harris plays here on a current ranking of 699. We've spoken a lot
Love
about
50.
rankings. It's difficult at the moment because there aren't any tournaments for these players to be playing in. But in 2018, he got to 609. when possible. He does travel a lot. Talked yesterday about the van, the camper van that took him around Europe for a while. And also the sponsors that helped him get out of the camper van.
15-0.
No, one of his sponsors is here. Courtside.
Net. Second set. Fifteen 30. Still
working his way into the match. Harris.
Forty 30. Game. Harris.
Both players, first hold in this final, settling themselves into the contest.
1 game all.
Because they've met 3 times and Harris has had 2 wins and Paris has had 1 win. Doesn't really feel like what's happened is relevant.
And we also found this on the tour when tennis resumed last year. How could you figure out form? Normally you've got
Lovely
stats
team.
and matches, and we had nothing to look at, people coming in cold. Maybe we spend too much time looking at stats and results, but there weren't any, and there haven't really been a lot for a while.
Doesn't really want to be playing his tennis that far back, Paris.
Fifteen 30.
And that was the feature of his play in beating Dan Cox. The big points was when he found the first serve, whether it be 15-30 or love 30 or 30 all.
Net. First serve.
big serve.
30 all.
Both coming in at 6'3". Harris, the slightly older, slightly higher ranked of the two.
That really is impressive athleticism
40-30.
from Paris.
Game.
Oh, he got lucky, Josh Paris. 3 games in, and I think he knows it. We're on serve, 2-1 in the
Match
final.
leads by 2 games to 1.
Joining us from the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre at Loughborough University for the UK Pro League, giving British players, the elite British players, the chance to compete against each other to earn money in a league situation. 8 weeks of competing this round robin 2-box format, 24 players per week. Everyone vying for a place in the top 9 to qualify for finals week in November.
Net first serve.
And congratulations to Emily Appleton.
What a week. 7 matches, 7 wins.
That forehand was the
15 love.
confident shot yesterday. When he hit it line and in was when he really was flowing. So interesting there that he just went back cross court. He's still sort of finding his way, Harris.
Found a lovely little angle.
That's cleverly played.
30 love.
To hit a shot like this is just the use of the left arm. Beautiful.
That was a lovely return. Set things up nicely.
30,
What
50.
was so good there was he recognised the quality of the return. He just continues to make that move forward. Any slight hesitation, and you can get yourself in trouble. But dynamic movement.
Forty, 15. Game, Paris.
That's the shot. So nice that he closed out the game.
2 games all.
If you ask both men right now, how do you feel the opening 4 games has gone? I think they'll both be happy just to get their way through and hold 2 service games apiece. It doesn't feel, Gigi, a match where we're going to see a lot of breaks of serve.
No.
Maybe sort of maximum 1 a set.
Another great thing about the UK Pro League is getting to know these players better and telling their stories. And we did speak yesterday when we were together about Harris and the camper van and making his way around and getting the sponsors. And for Josh Paris, he graduated and went to the Four Slam Academy in Spain, and he was training alongside Karen Khachanov and Andrei Rublev. 2 Russians who are flying up in the rankings. It's a top 10 place for Rublev at the moment, and Khachanov
Want to get
Masters
another
winner.
title again today?
He's playing so well at the moment. Beat Stefanos Tsitsipas in the semi-final to set up that final showing. And Paris was working with Fernando Vicente, the coach of Andrei Rublev, when he was out there, and also Galo Blanco was there, who was working with Khachanov at the time. At the age of 21, though, due to financial reasons, he had to leave and come back. But invaluable experience.
Game, Paris.
Very little to choose between these two at this stage. Good friends off the court,
Paris leads
playing
by
well on
3
it.
games
It's
to 2.
Paris who leads on serve by 3 games to 2. The final match of week 1. It's lovely to have your company, and you have a little time to rest and recover before we get back to it with week 2. 7 matches in 7 days for these players.
Love. All.
Not for the first time. Coming forward after the return, that's a sign that he's seen the ball well. Will he take this second serve on?
Yes, he will. Fist pump.
I actually think, sorry Gigi, I actually think the way
15-13.
Harris hit that shot, I think he thought Paris was actually at the net. It almost looked like he was going to just drop it down to the feet. So staying back after the return actually benefited him.
That is our first
30-14.
opening of this men's final. Seem to snatch it at Harris, and there's the
Game,
opening.
Paris.
There's the point, there's the break, and it's Paris with a 4-2 lead.
Oh, he's deserved that. He's been the one who's a little
Paris
bit more
leads by
comfortable
4 games to 2.
early stages. I'm trusting his shots a little bit more.
Love the
That's
kick.
more like it. That's the tennis he was producing yesterday. It's a good volley. You can't really have too many question marks about the volley. It's just a really good point from Harris.
$15.
Oh, it's a beast of a serve.
30-15.
He hits that serve particularly well.
Net, first serve. $40-15. Game, Paris.
And the consolidation for Josh Paris. 7 games into the
Paris
final,
leads
the
by
last
5
match
games
of
to 2.
week 1, and it's Josh Paris with the advantage and the break in set 1. Raikkonen, you said it might just take the one break of serve to decide things in the set, and that's exactly what Josh Paris has. Another question being asked of Billy Harris as he looks to serve to stay in the set.
Maybe a game, good game for Billy Harris. Maybe just let go a bit.
– 15 love.
Last night, Gigi, that he was in 5th gear, Harris, and it sort of feels at the moment just in maybe 3rd gear. Just needs something to find that sparkle.
It's a quick turnaround. They have to reset themselves very quickly.
And it's so difficult to explain as tennis players. Some days you just have it. Some days just kind of searching for it.
And if you take too long searching, the match is gone.
But it's also learning how to search for it and not get too down on yourself, because then you can go from 3rd gear very quickly to 1st gear.
Oh, that's a good game for Harris.
At least he's asked the question.
Paris leads by 5 games to 3.
And so far, Paris has been serving very well.
Love 15.
And that just felt sort of extra little intensity. Got behind the ball brilliantly to direct the backhand cross court.
Fifteen. Fifteen, 30.
That's why you ask the question. Test your opponent.
And what was interesting yesterday was these sort of moments. He preferred the wide serve.
That's how that serve felt to Paris. Oh, great hands around the net from Paris. Brings up set point after 28 minutes of this first set.
40-30.
Well, I think this type of point has been the difference in this opening set. His ability to sort of just ghost forward, pick the right volley at the right time, Paris.
Use. Advantage. Paris.
Haven't played for a while. Josh Paris hadn't played this year. Lost just one match through the first 5 days and a point now for the first set of the final. That was a great play from Harris. Well read.
Use.
Just got enough length on that first forehand to help him with the volley, even if he did slightly misjudge it.
Oof, coming out with the big serves when he needs them, Paris. Third opportunity now to close out this set.
Continues to spread the serves, but change it up. Went wide with success. There he went down the middle, keeping his opponent guessing.
Okay.
There it is.
And
Here's
first
the
set,
roar
Paris.
from Josh Paris, because he claims the
Five,
first
six
set of
games
this
to three.
final. Take it just the one breaker serve, closing it out against Billy Harris by 6 games to 3. Hi Josh, can you hear us?
I can.
Excellent. We're just on a break, but if that's all right, in about 20 seconds we'll ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Thank you very much. All right, speak to you in a bit.
Cool.
Very happy to say that we can now go courtside to speak with Josh Paris, who closed out that first set of the final by 6 games to 3. Josh, well done on the first set. What was the most pleasing aspect of how you played through that first set?
I thought I was pretty aggressive. I mean, I again came in today, well, all week really, trying to implement my game, and I think I've done well. I've been trying to use my forehand as much as possible and come forward as much as I can. So it's been good.
Well, Josh, you played Billy 3 times before. Is there anything different that's happened today from the 3 previous matches?
Look, I know how good Billy is from the baseline, so I've tried to make the points a little bit shorter when I can, and if I can dictate, then I think I can get a bit more success.
How's the body feeling of the players saying this has been quite tough? This is match number 7 in 7 days.
It's okay, actually. Surprisingly, I think we've all got used to it, and I'm just ready for the battle. And obviously, it's the last match, so I'm gonna give everything.
Josh, thank you and good luck in the second set.
Thank you.
Josh Paris took that first set by 6-3, and it was, look, he executed his game plan. It was a pretty clean set from Paris.
Love the answer, the last question. Sending a positive message. And I don't think that was a bluff either. I think he generally does feel fine. And why wouldn't you? Playing well, set up, one more set required.
Yeah, and as he said, it's just one more match.
Yeah.
However you're feeling, it's one more match.
And your body gets used to it.
Yeah.
Second set. Harris to serve.
Needs a fast start here, Harris.
Love 15.
Very softly spoken, Paris, but gives a good old roar out on court. So far back, wasn't he? Paris left himself way too much to do.
15 all.
That return, if it hadn't have been indoors, come down with snow on it. I mean, he did well in the end. I think it was probably the wise decision to let that ball bounce. If you're Harris. So far, don't want to tempt fate, but we haven't got our Paris and Harris's mixed up.
I was waiting for you to say something about that. Really nice from Paris. I think if it was radio commentary, we would have blended them by now, definitely.
And he just needs to try and stay clear of this type of play, Harris, because he's deadly. Doesn't need any invitation to just charge the net.
First you.
Paris made his move early.
40-30.
Well, as Josh said, he's strong from the baseline. You give him time, that's what he can do with you on the both wings, actually. Technically very sound.
Deuce. Advantage Paris. Game.
Disappointing for
Paris.
Billy Harris. And Paris able to keep
First
the
game, second
momentum
set.
going by getting the break in the first game of the second set. Put himself in a very good position, Josh Paris.
And the numbers in the opening set where Paris will be absolutely delighted. 71% points won on the second serve. That's a incredible number. Continues. Well, both men actually served very well in that opening set. It's really been his ability to take the net has been decisive so far. I think for Harris, just hasn't been able to play at the same level that he played last night. Of course, a different type of opponent.
Final day, final match of the UK Pro League Week 1 from Loughborough University.
Nets. First serve. Love 15.
Well, sometimes they say in football you can score too early.
Yeah.
So that we know this sport is just so mental, so that could there be a little bit of shift in mentality for both men actually?
Love 30.
Your team haven't been scoring at all of late, have they?
Oh, that's below the belt.
Right hand side of the white one.
And you say it and start laughing.
I just thought it worked well following on. You can score too early.
Do you know what it is though?
Or not at
Do you know
all.
what it is? Hashtag stay humble. Don't start laughing at other teams' failings.
Hashtag not retaining title.
Oh, what happened there? I'm so surprised. I mean, did it come off the frame? Because
Love
that
40.
good serve and the volley just got to go back cross court short.
Fifteen 40.
Exactly what was
Game.
required from
Paris.
Billy Harris.
New balls,
Immediate
please.
break back.
One game all.
first time it feels, Gigi, that he's just played a little bit carefully. And this sport has always rewarded the ones who are brave.
Love 15. It's in the black triangle. Love
And
30.
when a player consistently takes the net away and rushes you, I think the best form is for you to then start to do exactly the same thing. And I feel that's the type of tennis that maybe Harris needs to do a bit more of. I'm not necessarily saying he needs to net rush and chip and charge, but just look to come forward a bit more.
15-30.
Always helps when you find a big first serve.
All.
He made no mistake.
Forward, taking control, being aggressive,
40-30.
getting rewarded.
And that always helps as a starting place, because if you then are aggressive and you win the point, it's sort of confirmation that that's the right thing. I need to do more of that. Where if you then be aggressive and you don't get anything from it, then you can have a little bit more doubts creep into your mind.
Just over pressing on that second serve.
Advantage, Paris.
3 games, 3 breaks of serve with the fist pump there from Paris, because he will now edge ahead, having regained the break and leading by a set and 2-1. It's a good position that Josh Paris, the 25-year-old, finds himself in now. Setting the break up against his good friend, Billy Harris. Asked the question what it's going to be like facing him. Oh, Billy.
Yeah. They're not good friends at the moment. How dare you break me again?
Yeah.
He will want to sort of learn from that last service game. And the best way, start on the front foot, first point.
Yeah, right to the feet.
Love 50.
Sending out that message of intent in the first point.
Love 30.
That's a great shot.
Good. Yeah, 100%.
A really good forehand, good umpiring, but it's that first shot of the rally that got him into trouble. Slice is a great shot, but you don't want to be hitting it as a defensive player, and it was very much a careful shot.
Had an opportunity there, sat up the drop shot.
15-30.
The drop shot worked well for him yesterday.
Low slice floated to the feet of Harris.
That's brilliant. And the difference between the defensive slice that sits there and floats as opposed to the aggressive one that really stays low, as you said, Gigi.
Oh, and again, it's too good from Paris, who turns around a love 30 to a game point.
40-30.
Great hands around the net, Paris.
Paris.
Closing out the point and getting the consolidation for the 3-1 lead.
That's a fine recovery.
Paris leads by 3 games to
Down
1.
love 30. Harris threatening to break again. So after 3 breaks of serve to begin this set, Paris holds on.
Final match of the week here at the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre. We'll conclude week 1 of the UK Pro League. What a week it's been. Great matches from start to finish.
Love 50.
Looked like quite a weary fist pump there, didn't it?
all.
Well, he only knows one way, Billy Harris, and he'll keep fighting.
The
one defeat for Billy Harris this week was on day 2 to Dan Cox. Picked up wins this week against Sean Hodkin, George Houghton, Mark Whitehouse, Andrew Watson, and in the semi-finals the highest ranked player competing, Anton Matusevic.
That's more like it. It's a big 1-2.
That's for serve.
He'll want to forget. But a good hold for Harris because he keeps the deficit to just the one break of serve. But it's Paris 3-2 in the second. Josh Paris against Billy Harris to be crowned week 1 UK Pro League champion, and it's Paris very much in the driving seat, leading by set and a break. a lot of work for this young man in your picture to do, Billy Harris.
Make sure you use those precious 90 seconds at the change of hands to just keep refreshing your memory, telling yourself what you need to do, what you've done really well so far.
$15 love.
Just letting a little bit of frustration out. Can't afford to miss those, Harris.
30 love.
It's just been one of those days. I've been impressed with his composure, Paris. It would have been just a bit of a body blow when he lost his serve at the beginning of the set, having just broken. Crucially, he broke straight back. I think that was a sort of a pivotal moment.
$40-15.
That's a good point. And sometimes, I don't know if that is the case with Billy, but sometimes when your legs are heavy, actually having a point like that can actually help you, because we haven't had that many rallies. Sort of been short, sharp points, and maybe he just hasn't been able to get that adrenaline rush. So a point like that, could that be a bit of a momentum changer?
It was good. It was good, Billy.
That's why I got. Go on, Josh.
No, definitely came through the line. Game, Paris.
Shutting down that possible change in momentum. Josh Paris to keep the advantage in the 4-2 second set
Paris
lead.
leads by 4
That
games
serve has
to
helped
2.
him with some big moments today, Paris.
It's been the theme, hasn't it, the last 2 days, certainly.
$15 love.
look wide.
15 all. Thirty 15. Forty 15.
Josh being watched today by his older brother.
It's been nice for the players we've seen, especially in the later matches, mothers, brothers, partners, the chance to, and there hasn't been a lot of tennis to watch recently, just to be courtside.
Game. Harris.
He's keeping it to just the one breaker serve, Billy Harris, to give himself a chance in the second set. A set he must win. But
Harris
Harris
leads
still with the
by
advantage,
4
leading
games
by
to
a
3.
set and a break 4-3. The last match of week 1, the UK Pro League. 7 more weeks to come. Finals week follows that in November. A wonderful chance for these players to get some exposure with the matches being broadcast live on television, on the internet. A chance for
It's a great opening point. And what's also gold dust for them?
15 love.
Video in their matches,
yeah.
which is so difficult when you're lower down the ranking, because especially if you're on your own. To actually just digest the good parts, that's really important. The parts of the game you want to improve.
And they'll have an awful lot of matches to look
30
back
love.
on.
I guess that's the job for next week.
Yeah. You can have a couple of days, back to it. It's going to be interesting to see how these rivalries and players develop.
And we were having a chat at the change of ends. We're both in agreement. He will have a half chance.
Yeah, you feel it's going to happen.
You know, and a half chance might be 15 all second serve, chance to put a bit of pressure on. Might be this game at 30 all potentially. It's really important for Paris to just keep that foot on the accelerator, keep coming forward, keep being brave. Just like that.
40-15.
mentioned it yesterday, but he just has a nice ball toss which lends itself to serve and volleying, and then he's able to get very close to the net for that first volley. And in the end, it was decisive in him rushing Harris.
(40-30).
There's a backhand.
And some. One of his best returns. Sort of return you see a lot in the doubles game.
Cry of LA from
Game,
Paris.
Paris.
Half French, fluent in French. To school at the Lycée Français. And he closes it out for a 5-3 lead.
Paris
A
leads
game
by
away from
5
being
games
week
to
1
3.
champion.
I thought you were going to continue the French theme there.
Into what?
Well, the game score.
Oh, you thought I was going to say it in French?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, a little bit of a test there, and didn't he come through it impressively, Paris? You're bilingual, aren't you? You speak fluent
15
French?
love.
Yeah.
Twins speak better French than you?
Yes, definitely. At the age of 5, I'm already struggling with those conversations.
Net, first serve.
As I am with their maths homework. it's a worry.
Parents are celebrating tomorrow.
Yes, we are. School's reopening.
And so are the children celebrating.
Harris knows what he's got to do, and he's doing exactly
Yeah.
that.
30.
I actually think he's been so much better in the last 15 minutes or so. It looks sharp now as he's done the whole match.
Love. (40-50).
Big swing at that, Paris. That was rewarded.
(40-30).
He went for the big second serve. Oh, what a good hold that is from Billy Harris.
Harris.
All the pressure in the world on him. He serves to
Harris
stay
leads by
in
5
the
games
match,
to
and
4.
we say it a lot, Barry, but it is asking the question, and now he's asking the question, can you serve this out? Can you take this week 1 title? And how important is this first point
It's
of the next game?
it's massive. You know, because right now there's a good feeling about Billy Harris. Of course, always disappointed to start the match the way he did, to start the second set the way he did. But you know, I'm sure if we had the luxury of asking him right now, he'd say, "I feel better." And Paris will be aware of that he's slightly lifted his level. Of course, you've got any level,
Right.
you've got the complications of serving out for the match, for the title. So there's bound to be a few nerves. So, you know, so far he hasn't gone away from his game plan at all, Paris.
This is for 18 points, nearly £4,000, and bragging rights to be top of the leaderboard after week 1. Josh Paris serving to be crowned a week 1 champion.
To hold the yellow jersey.
To be the man to beat. As we get the cry of LA once more.
15 love.
3 points from the win.
The old faithful. Absolutely. Big moments, go for your best serves. That is extraordinary. Little bit of tension on the forehand volley, and he got away with it. What was Billy doing here? Oh, relief. That's why that point was huge.
30-15.
So a totally different dynamic to the game. It had been 15-all.
Paris just taking his time, 2 points from the win to go through 7 matches with just the 1 defeat coming on day 2. This would cap a very happy birthday week for the young man.
Dropped in. It felt
30-all.
like it wasn't a leave, and it was just a good return to just scramble it in. Oh, where's he going here?
Down the tee. You?
I think he might go wide.
And he does. And he gets his reward, and it brings up match point.
40-30.
Well, he had a play on it. That was his half chance, maybe. It was not one of his best serves, but he'll take it.
You okay with that, Josh?
Get the rogue ball out the way. Big moment for 25-year-old Josh Paris. Match point. And your week 1 champion is crowned. It is Josh Paris, applauded by his brother watching on. Big smile and fist bump from his big brother. The win goes the way of Josh Paris, 6-3, 6-4. Caps off a really good week for the young man. Celebrated his birthday this week, and now he's week 1 winner. 18 points, nearly £4,000, and he is top of the leaderboard. After 7 days play, 7 matches, 1 defeat. He is Barry Cowan, the UK Pro League week 1 winner.
Yeah, great conclusion to a fantastic week. A deserved winner. He was brave today. Paris maybe just had the edge physically, and so often it physically can also be mentally. Harris, who had that brilliant win last night, but was late last night, and was that a factor? And when maybe you thought it might get a little twitchy in the second set, when he was up the set and a break, he just stayed true to himself. So that's a nice moment for Paris, and I'm sure Paris, and Harris, and many of the other players benefited from the amount of tennis, and there'll be better players for it. And to come through difficult situations, to know that you can serve out for a title, and it's a lovely moment, and he should be very proud of himself, as should Billy Harris. Of course, you're disappointed because you feel you maybe didn't play your best tennis today, but it's a positive week. That should be his takeaway.
Yeah, it really is just the 2 defeats for Billy Harris, some really good wins, including the way he played against Anton Matusevic in the semi-final. He said after that Matusevic win that, yep, he's playing every day, every week of the UK Pro League, and plenty of positives. Look back at the videotapes, what he did well, what he didn't do quite so well, take a couple of days off and then get back to it. But the winner, your winner today, is Josh Paris. Great victory for the young man, and here he is, your week 1 UK Pro League winner, speaking to Marcus.
Well, Josh, many, many congratulations. We know what a fierce competitor Billy is. So how much of a relief is it to finally get that one in the bag?
It is a big relief. It was a tough one today. Long week for all of us players. I thought I did really well. Billy's an amazing competitor, a good friend of mine. So, yeah, really good. I'm so happy.
You touched on your game plan during your on-court interview, but tell us exactly what the approach was meant to be, and if it worked out precisely as you anticipated.
Yeah, I think it did. I like to play an aggressive game. I like to take risks, so I know that it's down to my execution. It's not always going to work, but I know also that my opponents don't like the way I play. So, it's a risky game, but I enjoy it as well. So it worked well today. Yeah,
you got a terrific game start, and you appear to be so composed most of the time, even towards the end. And I was watching you closely, and you were talking to yourself a little bit, sometimes in French.
Yes.
But you never seem to get too flustered. Is that the case?
It may look that way, but it's something I've been working. I said before, it's something I've been working on with my coach. Look, I think I've got a little bit older, a bit more mature. And I know that, I don't need any wasted energy, especially the way I play. So I stay pretty calm, it's important for my game.
And you got your brother here today. How much support did he provide for you at key moments?
He was pretty calm. He's usually a bit of as you can see, a bit of a nervous wreck. But we had a little chat before, so he did well. He did well. Nice to have him here.
Being absolutely honest, at the start of this week, 7 matches ago, did you genuinely think that you could become champion?
You always, to be out here, you always have to believe you can win. Did I necessarily think I was going to win? Probably not. But I have good self-belief, and definitely more recently with the whole break and everything, I've kind of calmed down a little bit and just trusting myself. So yeah, I think so, a little bit.
And you get the 18 points. You get a very decent prize money check as well, over £4,000 for the prize money and the appearance. So are we going to see a lot more of you, and hopefully maybe building towards a crescendo come finals week in November?
Definitely. I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone who puts this tournament on, all the organisers, and speaking on behalf of all the players, it's a huge thing for us, funding wise, we get a lot of match practice to then go on tour and compete. So you'll definitely be seeing a lot more of me, hopefully, towards the end of the year.
Brilliant. And of course, it was your birthday yesterday. You couldn't celebrate too much then. You and your brother going out and doing something tonight, if you can? Not much
Whatever
you can do at the moment.
Really, yeah. As much as we can do, but I'll definitely be treating myself to something tonight, some kind of dessert or something tonight.
Splash up. Many, many congratulations. You're the week 1 champion.
Thanks a lot.
And he's deserved it. 6 wins out of 7. And that does bring to an end the live coverage for this weekend. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll round up everything that's happened at the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre over the past few days. And welcome back to the Dan Maskell Tennis Centre, where a wonderful week of UK Pro League tennis has come to an end just a few moments ago, with Josh Parris becoming the men's champion in week one. Earlier we saw Emily Appleton maintain her unbeaten run throughout the week to become the women's champion. Barry has rejoined me. Talk us through the final from your perspective. Clearly Josh was very pleased with his tactical approach, and as you said in commentary too, he kept his composure at key moments, didn't he?
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been the first, and he certainly won't be the last player to feel the nerves trying to close out matches. It happens to the great champions, so it's going to happen to Josh Parris. But I thought he handled it superbly. I think he handled the occasion better. I think there were circumstances behind it, maybe for Billy, the highs of last night where he said it was his best match, and also a late finish maybe just counted against him a little bit. But I actually thought towards the end he was playing his best tennis, but where the big difference was Josh was playing his game more. He was attacking the net. He does it beautifully. He sort of sneaks in, clever player, good at this, and found the serve like he did yesterday. Few 15-30s, few love 30s, when maybe if you miss a first serve, you might get yourself into a little bit of a hole. But he kept finding the big serves when it really mattered most. So, fantastic couple of days for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he looks calm and composed. We had a quick word with his brother during the advert break, and he said that he was an absolute mess sitting and watching. Normally has a very good resting heartbeat, but he's all over the place. I guess you can understand it's sometimes much harder for the person watching, isn't it, than the person actually playing?
I wonder what Mr. and Mrs. Federer think, and Mr. and Mrs. Djokovic, where their sons are trying to win Grand Slams. They've seen hundreds of their matches, but because it's out of your control. It's actually, you feel better on the court because at least you're in control of your own destiny. But yeah, they're going to be very proud. And he just said, last year we couldn't find a court. We eventually found a court somewhere in Hampstead. It's a lot easier if you're at the very top to be able to keep the practice going. So it's a nice reward for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh picked up those 18 points that I mentioned. That could be really important come the end of the year. The decent prize money too. Let's mention Billy, though. Such a durable performer as we saw last year. And you mentioned that you felt he was getting stronger towards the end. What do you like in particular about his game and his approach?
Great competitor. I mean, we know his story. We've told his story this week. And yes, today wasn't his best tennis, but he didn't drop his head. He just kept fighting. And on other days, he'll get rewards for that. And what's really important at the level of these guys are at, and same thing with the girls, is your takeaway is positive. His takeaway is not a loss in the final. It's been a great week, and I'm sure all of them feel that they're better placed for it. And that's what you're always striving for as a tennis player. You're always striving to climb the ladder, to make yourself better. That when he's in 6 months' time, he might be in the same position. And if he has a late match on the Saturday night, he comes out on the Sunday and he feels maybe a little heavy-legged, he might do something different in terms of the preparation. Everyone makes mistakes. It's about learning and dealing with it the next time you happen to come across it.
Yeah, he might find himself in this position in a couple of weeks because, of
Exactly,
course, week 2 gets underway here at Loughborough in just 8 days' time. Let's just wrap up exactly what has happened on finals day. It's been a terrific weekend of action. So many quality matches yesterday. And a very similar story today. Jack Findle-Hawkins has really caught the eye during the past few days, and he secured 5th place in the men's singles with a straight sets win against George Houghton. It was a lot closer actually than certainly the second set scoreline would suggest. Alicia Barnett and Freya Christie only deal in thrillers when they meet each other. Alicia came through in a very tight tie-break in their pool match a few days ago. This time Freya got her revenge. It was super close, but she finishes 3rd as a result of that. Anton Matusevic finished 3rd in the men's event with his straight sets win over Dan Cox. And then, as I mentioned, Emily Appleton completed her fantastic week. 7 wins out of 7. She was troubled by a nosebleed during her final with the very competitive Beth Gray. But she won that, and of course we've just seen Josh emerge victorious against Billy. So overall, Barry, what are your highlights? What are your abiding memories of the past few days here going to be?
I think superb Saturday. I thought yesterday the quality of the tennis was exceptional. I thought the intensity was there. I mean, you had some really tough matches. And I mean, obviously, in sport, there's always people that are elated, and you're going to be disappointed. But the players that maybe didn't get their reward yesterday came back today, put in a good performance, still wanted to get something from from the week. So yesterday I thought was really, really terrific. And I think Emily, to go unbeaten, special mention. It's not easy to do. I mean, of course, once you get to the semi-final and final, you can only be one winner over the weekend. But to get through those 5 matches and keep up a good run, and at times she was quite critical about her level, which was surprising. I think
Perhaps a good sign, though, if she's a perfectionist.
well, yeah, it can be, but it can also be a negative side, because if you're searching for perfection, you're going to be forever disappointed.
Yeah, that's a very strong philosophical point with which to end. Barry, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.
As always, for your company. And thank you for being with us. And don't forget, week 2 is just around the corner. But as far as week 1 is concerned, it's congratulations to Team Apples. And Josh is jubilant as Paris beats Harris. From us all here in Loughborough, it's goodbye.